Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel. The star of today's product review is the Boutique Player. Boutique Player is a sliding closet with glass door. Let's dive in. The Player collection is very wide in terms of possibility that it offers, and the boutique door of the Player collection is the one made of glass, of transparent glass or mirror. This version is the sliding door version, but we also have the hinged door version. This very closet is 295.6 centimeters wide. It's made up by 3 doors, which are 95.6 each. It has a height of 255. It has a depth of 69 centimeters for the middle door and 64 centimeters for the first and third door. Normally this depth is slightly lower, but in this case the profile of the door actually serves as a handle. It's a full handle from top to the ground, and so it's slightly deeper than other closets from the same collection. In general, sliding door closets are slightly less flexible than hinged door closets, for example. Here we have 2 measures for the doors, which are 95.6 and 110.6. I do suggest to always use the same width and not combine different widths in the same closet, not only for looks, but also because with different lengths, there are certain doors, actually the wider doors, cannot be opened completely, and this is not practical in general and forbids you to use drawers inside. So if we imagine closets of 2 doors, 3 doors, 4 doors, we can get compositions which start at 198 and go up to 456. This is the 255 height we said, but there's also the 229 and the 236. And this, for example, is very useful in the Swiss market where ceilings are slightly lower. There are 3 types of glass available, which is mirror, the standard mirror that everybody of us has in the bathroom, for example, a dark mirror, which I very much like because it actually darkens the image that you see reflected without altering the colors. So if I'm wearing a red tie, I can see it in the mirror properly. It just darkens the image. And then there is the transparent gray glass, which I like a lot because, you know, it gives a stunning look to the closet. It really values what to put in the closet, the overall look, especially with the LED lightings that we will comment later on. Of course, it can really kind of force you to keep the inside very tidy. So it's not for everybody. It really depends on your taste and the way you live your closet. We described the handle, which goes from the top to the ground, and it's very thin, but behind it there's a sturdier aluminum structure, which is actually covered by this painted strip on the perimeter of the door. So if you look closely, you will see a graphite gray painted part of the glass here, and here it's wider, just like on the top, and on the side it is used to cover the structure, and actually that would have been not strictly needed. The aim of these painted parts is actually to cover the mechanism of the sliding closet, which is on the top on the lower part, and to make the surface even and look more, to give more proportions to the overall look. The side parts were painted as well. Here we see the side of the Boutique Player closet. In this case, it's in matte lacquer, in the nude finish, but there's a huge variety of materials you can get on the sides. It could be laminate, it could be matte lacquer, it could be wood, but there's all sorts of possibilities. You can see them on the portal. What I'd like to point out from this perspective is the way that LED lighting is used, because here we placed 3 LED lightings, one on the right here, one on the left and one on the left. And my suggestion in your home is to actually place the LED lightings on the side where you will not actually see the lighting fixture. But if you look at this first column, you do perceive the lighting in the column. You don't see the actual lighting fixture. While here you do see the lights, and it can create a glare effect, or it can be unpleasant to the eye, especially at night. Maybe you wake up at night or early morning, and you turn these sorts of lights on, and you want to enjoy the light without having your eyes to blink, to adjust to the light. Normally, when you place lights in a closet, you can use sensors, so that when you open the closet, the lights turn on. This is very convenient. It's not this case, because you see, if I have glass doors and I have a sensor, I would get up from bed, just walk by, and the lights would turn on. I don't want this sort of behavior. And so normally these LED lighting are actually connected to a switch on the wall, so that I can use them as an additional light source in the room. Let's have a look at the inside. There are two standard finish, which are clay and dove gray. They're based on the decor laminate, which has a very slight horizontal texture. It's quite pleasant and practical as well. In this case, we have a custom inside. So we chose the nude matte lacquer for the sides, and we also used the nude matte lacquer on the decor finish, so that we could have a fully customized inside. It actually adds to the cost, but it's very pleasant, especially with these glass doors, because I can actually express my personality when opening the closet. I can enjoy the colors I love. Here we see a traditional way of setting up the closet. So we have the central column with the drawers unit. Here we have 3 closed drawers and 2 with dark glass. Okay, here we see the mocha shine handles, which actually match the mocha shine finish of the aluminium perimeter of the doors. Here we have these elements, which is normally used for jumpers or shirts. In Italian it's named casellario, just like it were the unit that is used in post offices to place all the envelopes, but this is its use, and it's actually quite convenient, so that I don't have to pile up too many shirts or too many jumpers. And here we have the servetto unit, which is useful, convenient to actually bring down what is normally up. It's a matter of taste. A servetto, technically speaking, is an excellent product. It's actually the company which invented this sort of tool, and it's a patented mechanism, and it works flawlessly. Personally speaking, I'm not a fan of this sort of element, because it actually makes the available width to hang clothes slightly narrower, and in my perception, it actually takes a few more seconds to pull down like this and then pull up, rather than using a simple stick, or actually, it depends on how tall you are, to actually take the item you're going to wear. So I'm not dismissing the accessory. It's a great tool. There are people who fall in love with it. I'm not a fan of it. Also because with transparent doors, you can actually perceive the structure of it. Normally, this structure that you see here, it's must be explained, because normally the servetto unit only has this central part, and you don't perceive these sort of arms like a spider that spread onto the partition. Here it was necessary to follow this approach, because the structure of the player collection is all with the honeycomb panel. So you have the honeycomb structure with the solid wood perimeter, so it means it is hollow inside, and so this sort of attachment is needed. But for example, on a wide collection closet or on a Pacific collection closet, if you want a servetto unit, you will not see these arms and legs, but only the central support, which actually contains the springs that makes it possible to work perfectly and flawlessly. Here I show you an accessory which I very much like, I find it very convenient, which is this hanger, which is used for trousers and skirts. And I find it very convenient because it does actually allow you to place many trousers and skirts without reducing the capacity of the column you are using. And you can simply raise the elements, and so you can actually place 14, or depending on the item, you can even double place 2 items on a single row, and it's very practical. So we come to the end of today's product review with the boutique player sliding closet with glass doors. I hope you liked it, and see you next time. Bye bye.